You sorry?
Yes. Yeah, just park it in the middle.
You sorry?
Yes. Yeah, just park it in the middle. Damage control, what's going on? East Coast Auto Details, what's going on? Twin Works Mobile Detailing, what's up? We got Danny Guzman, James Edwards, I see you. What's going on, everybody? Yeah, we're gonna have Toly's in the building real soon. Also, supposed to have what's going on, James? We're supposed to have Sporty's logging in any minute now. Big dog. Oh shit. Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now. It was muted for a minute. I was like, damn, what's going on?
Yeah, I had it muted.
I'm about to say, I was like, what the fuck's going on? You ain't go live yet?
Yeah, I'm live. We live right now, man. We got people in
Oh,
the building already, man. We got
building.
I'm sending you an invite right now, Toly. You still there, Sporties?
Oh, yeah, I'm still here. I'm still here.
Okay. What's going on, Tolys?
Hey, what's going on, Anthony?
Not much, man.
Hold on.
In the Toly lab. In the Toly's lab. You in the lab, Toly, man?
Yeah, I'm in the
Lights
lab.
off. Yo, how's everything going with that, man? Man, I was shocked when I seen that, man.
Oh yeah. Hold on a second. Let me just get this set up.
Well, all that'll get discussed, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, Danny. What's going on? What's up, James? E Grizzle.
Yeah, just come in and it's all good. No, it's good. You can hear everything, so.
Oh yeah, guys. I talked with 1804 Media Group. His real name is Max. Talked with them this morning, or well, not this morning, but earlier today, man. Talked on the phone for about an hour or so. He's gonna get the shirts and everything done up. He's gonna send me like a sample, and I'll go live tomorrow just for the t-shirts, and so everybody can send their logos in. So if they want their logos on the back of the shirt, but if you did not donate, you won't get a shirt. But your name can still go on the shirt without you donating, but you will not get a shirt unless you donate. So you still got time.
Yeah, Toly.
Yo.
Yo, how long is your I just had to know this real quick, but how long has your brother been with you? I mean, that's not your brother, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
my brother.
How long
He
has he been
actually
with you? Like
works
from
his
the jump?
hospital. What do you do? ESC?
EVS.
Yeah, he does EVS. So he's off like Mondays and Thursdays. So he's only with me on Mondays and Thursdays.
Okay, I'm about to say, yeah. You make sure, it's like he's always there, man. Like every car.
Yeah, I get him on Mondays and Thursdays, and sometimes he just swings by like today, Saturday.
How long has he's been with you for how long?
What do you mean?
Like
As far as like
how long he's been working?
how many years he's been with you? Like just as
When
long?
I opened,
No,
no, 2008. When I actually opened my business in 2008, him and one of my other brothers were the actual first people to help me out with the detailing and stuff.
I'm about to say, man. Yeah, it's not like some good help, man. God damn, it's not like some good help.
Yeah. Do me a favor. You want to see if the volume is really up the way? Yeah, so I can hear it. It's delayed on here, so I don't know what's going on right now. Hey, check if the volume's all right. It's all the way.
I think it's on the way.
You found it?
Yeah, but I thought it was media, but actually it uses as an IM call.
Okay.
You know why? Well, it's not your line because there's a.
Hey, just let me know when you're ready, Toly.
Yeah, I guess I'm ready. I'm just trying to watch this on the laptop as well, and it's like really behind.
Yeah, you got to focus on the. It's
Yeah,
it's gonna be a delay on Google. I mean on YouTube, but you want to just keep up with Hangouts.
Yeah, keep the
Okay,
volume down on
gotcha.
the laptop.
Yeah, turn the
that's what I'm
volume
doing
down
now.
on YouTube. Turn the volume down on YouTube and just focus on Google Hangouts.
Yep, got it.
And I only use YouTube just to look at the comments, just to look at the chat. That's all. So I got the
That's what I'm
volume
doing
down on
too.
mine. Right. Hey, what's going on? Hey, what's your brother's name, man? What's up?
Yuri, how
Yuri.
you doing?
I'm doing good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we see on all the videos. I know a couple of times I thought you and Toly was the same guy. I'm like, man, hold on. Y'all look just alike, man.
Yeah. Some people say we're twins.
Yeah, just like Sporty says, there ain't nothing like good, reliable help, man.
For real.
Yeah.
All right, man. So just give us like just a little quick brief like history about yourself, like things like where you came from, how you grew up a little bit, and how the events leading up to starting your business.
Okay. Well, like always, we came from Europe side, Ukraine. So when we came here, just our parents, everybody just, basically supported us with paycheck to paycheck. But, as a kid, you can't really do much. But then as time went by, got older and, always trying to look, to make that extra buck, I guess. I started working for a door company, but before I, worked for a door company, I got in trouble, with the law for a little bit, and you know, once you have something on your record like that, it's not that easy to get a job. But I did find a job doing door.
What about Apple?
That was, don't interrupt me. That was before that. So I started working at a door company, which, you know, any door that, you know, to the house, to commercial buildings, I would do the prep work and all that. The company was going down. They started laying off people, and then I was like one of the last people that they laid off. And you know, I had a family already. I was, you know, I was married to my wife, Alina, and I knew I had to, you know, continue working, you know, because before that, you know, pretty much couldn't get a job until, you know, the door company, and somehow I just bought a whole bunch of like supplies. You know, I had a black little Civic, and you know, when it's black color, you always see everything.
Right.
So I was, you know, buying waxes and all that stuff. You know, not professional grade or anything, but, you know, I messed around with a few things like that, and I kept it always clean. So I kind of, you know, keeping my car clean kind of went into, you know, the detailing part of this business. At first, I called it Toly's Car and Truck Detailing, but then it was kind of too long, the name, so I changed it to just Toly's Detailing. And at first, you know, it was always trying to make that extra buck, and it was hard. You know, not like you just wake up and, you know, all of a sudden, bam, you know, your business just takes off, and all you do is just collect money. No, I had to work really hard. I mean, you know, I had to do a lot of reading, find out, you know, where do I go for advertising, how do I go about it. I was set on trying to figure out how to get the customers. I wasn't really set on having the equipment. That's why, you know, I show a couple pictures that I had a Sentra. That's actually the first car that I started. I had everything in the trunk. So after that, when I figured out a little bit of the customers, you know, did some advertising, getting some customers, got onto the Chevy Astro, which was like a 2001, I think. The Chevy Astro, you know, small. Then this Chevy Express, of course, now, you know, I crashed it, but yeah. So it was, you know, just taking steps, like baby steps. Got some customers, started getting, you know, income, and started to upgrade a little, like, you know, from the Nissan Sentra to the van. And slowly, as you know, as it progressed, I progressed on upgrading all my equipment, and to where I've started, where it was just 100, you know, gallon tank in a Chevy Astro with like a, you know, what is it, 2200 psi pressure washer, like at Sam's Club or Costco, and to now where it's a 200. I had a 200 gallon tank, and with 3400 psi dual pressure washer. So all this kind of pushed me, basically my life, the poor choices that I made, and that's what kind of forced me to try to go and figure out something that I could, you know, start bringing money in. And I wasn't just gonna, you know, give up and say, okay, screw this, you know, I'm not getting any customers, I gotta go do something else.
Right.
I just kept pushing. The step that I was focused on is how to get the customer, not, you know, all right, I need a pressure washer or you know, water tank or whatever. I just stayed in one point. You know, I gotta get customers, and that's what I was doing. You know, whenever I started the business, that's all I was reading. You know, what happens with a business when the business gets started. You know, it's all about not just not advertising, but also poorly advertising. And I guess I've been, you know, blessed from time. But, you know, you also have rough patches. Like, you know, some of you may know already that, you know, crashed my, you know, Chevy Express, my latest, you know, mobile van. but you know, that doesn't mean I'm gonna, you know, give up already. So
Right.
even if I'm sitting at that, you know, I'm still gonna push forward, you know, and uh, I guess these what would you call it? Rough patches. I guess that's what just makes you, you know, stronger. Once you go through something like I did in the past, and you know, something like you don't expect, which an accident or anything like that, and yeah, I mean, it's just how it is. So now I'm just waiting, you know, for my next mobile event. So yeah,
Okay. So
Hard to talk about.
so did you during that time when you was starting your business up, you said you wasn't focusing on equipment and stuff like that. You was focusing on getting customers. During that time, did you ever feel like your back was against the wall?
uh, you know what? Honestly, a lot of times, and if you ever watched that video, I think I did it in the cabin with my wife. At times when
Yeah.
she was telling me, you know, you gotta, you know, just, I guess just she was saying kind of like maybe go
Get,
try to get a job,
get
you
a
know.
job. I remember that video.
Yeah, so a lot of people I know that that do kind of detailing. Some people, you know, do two jobs, have a full time or part time job, and then do detailing. So for me, I didn't have that option. Like I said, you know, it's hard to get a job, so I had to go in full, you know, full mode. So even though when I had my back against the wall, where it was like multiple times, I didn't just throw my hands down and said, "Screw it, I'm done." Even if my wife was, you know, kind of telling me in a nice way, saying, you know, maybe go get a job, you know, and okay, well, how am I supposed to get a job, you know? And I had to push for that reason. If I was, you know, if my back was against the wall, I had to get away from that wall, basically, and I had to figure out a way to go to the next step. If I figured out how I got customers, then I can figure out, you know, a way to build my setup to where I could be more profitable and stuff. So it was all just taking baby steps.
Okay, so how did you go about getting your customers? What methods did you use?
So so at first, when I started my business, I did mention this in my other videos. I didn't know to go to YouTube for help. Like people have, you know, suggestions, advices, and all I did was finding links and literally just Googling articles. So the one thing I went to first was like Yellow Pages, which was a big mistake. I did two different Yellow Pages, you know, because one of them you're in one, you know, book and the other. uh, And I'm
Yeah, you
sure
got
some
the yellow
people,
pages and you got the yellow book.
there was two different kinds. There's Valley Yellow, there's a thin one and the fat one.
I think one of them is
So
called the yellow book, and then the other one is called the yellow page.
white pages, white pages.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so I think there was two different kind of also different kind of similar books, but there was two different kinds. I did go with those, but it was a big mistake. One of the things I'll tell you what's the biggest mistake. I don't know if I ever got a call from those books. I don't have any analytics of checking if somebody actually looked me up, if somebody actually tried to call me, because it's all in the book. The book is laying there. They just open, they look. You know, you have no idea if they've actually, you know, physically looked. Like for a website, you know, that's a different story. But that was the two Yellow Pages that I went through. And once I saw that that wasn't working, which I signed a contract, so I had to, you know, finish out 2 years, I believe, or 1 year. I'm not really sure how long it was already because, you know, it's been a while. But as I continue to read more articles and figure out the website was the best solution, and you can get some analytics find out even if somebody clicks on you, or you know, if somebody looked up your name. You know, it had just a better feeling, even if you didn't get all the calls, but you're like, oh, wow, look, you know, I had some people look at my link today. So, and that kind of, you know, some of these little things that you know the information about kind of helps you to move, you know, a step further. So, you know, you didn't give up. I went with the website, but then I advertised it with Google AdWords, which you do pay by click. It's a different versus SEO. SEO, you pay, they optimize your website, and that pretty much pulls up your website with organic keywords. So after that, you know, I took in consideration that I had to build a website. That's how I built a website, and I advertised with Google AdWords. I kept paying, you know, every dime I make, I spent on advertising. So if I made some money, I'll put it into advertising so I can show more, so I can be on top first. Every dime I made, instead of going spending it, you know, having a good time, I've actually put money into advertising, which I used Google AdWords. So there's a little separate account. You just put money in there and you choose how much money you want to spend in a day to where the clicks will take out that money. And when I did with the website, that's the only time that I started slowly getting calls here and there. And as the time grew, I got SEO because I was tired of paying advertising, which now pretty much I don't pay nothing for advertising. It's all the patience, it's all the time that you actually put out for advertising at first. Once you build up clients, I can't even, it's hard for me to accept new customers because of Monday through Friday, I go out to the same people, whether it's every week, whether it's 2 times a week, sorry, not no more. I did used to do 2 times a week, or it's every other 2 weeks and every 3 weeks, so, or once a month. So I have customers filled up every week, Monday through Friday. I don't work Saturdays anymore, but the website, the steps that I did before and went up to the website was the one thing that I truly saw what kicked off my my customers, like gained my customers. I had a website sitting at first, it wasn't being advertised before I even knew about Google AdWords. It was pretty much like the same thing with Yellow Pages. I was like, you know, how come it's not working? So I had to do more homework, I had to do more digging. Like, oh man, okay, great, I gotta advertise it. Then I was doing some vehicles for a used dealership, and they was the one who mentioned like, hey, you should try Google AdWords. I had no idea what he just said. I was like, Google AdWords, what is that? You know, not even thinking that it's advertising. He's like, go check it out, go on. All right, so I go home, Google AdWords, read about it, okay, figured out how it works by myself. It's kind of complicated. I mean, for some people that mess around with this all the time, I guess, you know, it'll be a little easier, but you have to set the radius you want to advertise. You got to be careful with the keywords you choose, because sometimes your keywords may be irrelevant to the service you provide. So if you have a lot of keywords that are irrelevant to your business, you're going to run out of money fast in your Google AdWords, and you're not going to get any customers. So, you know, just give you a little idea. That's how, you know, detailed you have to be with the Google AdWords. But SEO, you know, you pay one time for a person to optimize it. They optimized it. Somebody searches your name, it pulls out just because of organic searches.
Okay. All right. So, what role does your brother play in your business?
What role do you play, Aaron?
I'm just helping.
Bodyguard?
No, I'm helping out in his hard times.
You know what?
Spiritually,
he's been helping me a lot.
Right.
Yeah, so, you know, that's why I say, you know, family is really important.
Right.
Because if, you know, hard times call, you know, you have some good friends and everything, but you know, the real people are, you know, your family. You know,
Right.
they're the ones who's going to be there to support you. You know, hardship or, you know, whatever happens, you know, they're actually physically there because, you know, it's your blood. You know, you feel the same pain basically.
Right. So when did your business? How long did it take you for your business to for you to feel comfortable that now your back is no longer against the wall. You're making some good income. You're able to provide for your family. Like how long did it take from year one? Like how long did it take for you to feel like okay, I'm established now?
Okay. So first I'm going to say I might be a little off because, you know, I don't remember exactly how long it's been, but I think somewhere in at the end of second, going on to third year, I I've started getting more calls. So third year, I want to say wasn't. I really didn't feel, you know, still that stable. I want to say I was still getting customers, but within the third year, when it was, you know, as far as I was getting details and everything, this is what I found out right away about my business. All the details that I was doing, like doing whether it was a plane, whether it was like minivan, truck, boat, RV, and I had to go. Do you remember the in the Thomas that filthy where you said it was the food fight in there? Okay, so
They had a cereal bowl in their cup holder.
with milk. Well, okay, but that okay. So every step I take, whether it's in business or in life, I try to analyze it and figure out, you know, if it's worth it or what to do.
That's a lot.
So I saw that with detailing,
Totally.
it's really hard to, you know, pull in a lot of customers, which now I can't pull in a lot of customers for details. But as far as when I was starting, I had to deal with filthy cars. I'm talking about right now. I don't remember when was the last time actually I remember doing a bad minivan when we were at La Jolla.
Yeah,
That was another one that I agreed,
Dodge.
or my wife actually agreed to. So like I don't even try to agree to filthy vehicles anymore, just because all the customers that I have, the vehicles are really clean. So I'm not trying to, you know, go out there and look for more details. So when I was doing progress of getting all the details, and I had to hustle, and I'm talking about the most I ever pulled off was probably 4 to 5 details a day. But that was like me, that was my brother, my brother-in-law. I had like 3 or 4 people that were helping me, and honestly, you know, you can manage, you can do that, but you got to have a bigger overhead. So you know, the more people you have, the more details you need to do. So either you get forced when you have more people, you got to be forced to take more jobs, or if you're taking more details,
Oh,
if you're taking more details,
Excel.
you gotta, you know, get more employees basically. So you either gotta pay a lot for employees, and then you gotta bring in more jobs. So that's the route that I saw that, you know, I mean, if you're willing to go on and have a big company, you can do that, but you just got to think about all the overhead that you have to deal with. So
Okay. So also, man, I was wondering, like, does your wife play a part in the business? Does she help with like admin's paperwork?
so yeah. So sorry, I'll get to the wife. I just got distracted a little bit.
Okay.
Um, when I was starting on doing all the details, and that was up to the third year. In the third year, that's where I started actually physically offering maintenance wash services to every customer I got, like for a detail. And when I was doing that, all these customers that I got, they were all, some of them came in onto maintenance wash services that I had a customer for a detail. Now, as far as when the time went, longer with the business, when it went on to the fourth, fifth year, a lot of people started, spreading word about my business. So some people even actually physically called me and straight up said, "Do you do weekly maintenances or wash services?" And that's what I was sticking with. So I was like, yes, 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 I do. Yes, I do. So when I had like Monday filled up and I had Tuesday, Wednesday free, Thursday, Friday, and I'm like, yeah. So now I have every other Wednesday, every other Thursday, and I kept showing, letting them know all the days that were still available until now, Monday through Friday. I got the same clients in there, and basically, I don't have to wake up in the morning and be like, okay, please, somebody call me for a detail. I build up a lot clients with like multiple cars where I have a steady income. Basically, I get up, I go and wash those 4 or 5 cars, more, whatever, and I know that every day I wake up, I know I'm going to make some money. So before, with the details, I didn't have details every day because I still didn't have my wash services filled all the way. So it did, it did quite. It was bad. I mean, I was still, even when I had the jobs with the details and I was trying to do this back and forth, wash service and that, it was still tough because, it didn't boom and it happened overnight. That probably came from the 4th year up to now, which 2008, 9, 10, 11. So from 2011, 2012, somewhere around there, I've been pushing up to the 16th, 17th, 15th, whatever year it was, until I've, got my customers all Monday through Friday. That's where I want that. And then my wife, actually, I don't know if my wife is even watching, but my wife does play a big role. She shows me, what reality is. Like, I understand her with saying like, oh, you got to get a job and everything. So it happens. I mean, anything, you need 2 brains, 3 brains sometimes to look at a scenario or an issue to analyze it. So my wife kind of helped me in a way to push harder for this. And as far as doing like work and stuff, she actually uses QuickBooks to put all my invoices, receipts. She puts everything in the system, gets it ready for tax season. She takes calls. Whenever somebody calls me for on my business line, which is my phone, and most of the time, I'll tell you this, I will not answer the phone, just because if I do, I'm out mobile, I'm working, or at the shop, I get delayed on the actual physical work. So what I do is I leave a voicemail. I leave a greeting, or I should say greeting voicemail, saying that 2 to 3 weeks ahead on booking. If you really want to set something up, leave a detailed voicemail. If they leave me a voicemail, I shoot that voicemail to my wife. My wife listens to the voicemail, she calls them back, and she talks to them, and she schedules it. So my wife has a part of scheduling if it's a new customer, if it's a new detail, or she just deals with the ongoing basis that people like bring in for interior details or whatever. I have like same customers that, it's not ongoing basis, like a contract type deal, but they do bring in every time there's a vehicle, they do bring in for like interior detail or whatever, and it could be the same person, but then there's new people. So my wife plays a big role. She does scheduling, she does my, what is it called, bookkeeping, she does all that. So, and, the most important job is probably being, home with the kids.
Okay, man, that's cool. That's just as important That's what you do, because if you don't have anybody answering the phones, you don't have any people taking care of your books. I mean, you can get in real trouble with the, like Eric Jones said, them alphabet boys. You don't want to have no problems. But that's pretty good, man.
Yeah.
Sport, you got anything to ask?
Yeah, I was wanting to say the same thing. If it wasn't for my girl, I definitely wouldn't be making the money I'm making now. And that's definitely because of her. Because she answers all the calls and she forwards, well, I forward all the calls to her. And she's able to schedule. And I mean, I've had a lot of customers in the past where they said they scheduled with me just because I called back. I might have been the third or fourth detailer they called. And just because I called back or picked up the phone, I got the job. That simple. And going through those scenarios, like through work, I just knew picking up the phone was real important. Like at least calling somebody back within 24 hours was really important because you're not the only one that does cars.
All right, so how much do you charge for a maintenance wash on on a car, mid-size, to your largest vehicle? How much do you charge?
All vehicles, 2 doors, 4 doors, not a truck SUV, they're $50. Trucks, minivans, SUVs are $60. But I have customers that are like almost 60 miles away from me, and I charge an on-site fee. So people that really want my service, they actually pay me an on-site fee plus the 50, 60 per vehicle and truck.
Okay, because that reminds me of my lawn care. All the jobs. Excuse me, guys, I'm hungry. I gotta eat. But
Yeah.
those reminds me of my lawn maintenance. I'm very close to them, so I don't have to charge like an on-site fee. But it's that residual income that keeps bringing in that
That's
a
what.
lot of people are. I notice when I'm watching other YouTubers in our community, they talk about detailing a lot, but you have to be in business for a very, very long time to get a full detail, you know, every day or every other day. Because once that person gets their vehicle detailed, there's nothing left to do but to do a maintenance wash, you know. And I mean, I don't know anybody that's doing that. That's doing maintenance washes. I don't know why I never thought of that. I do lawn maintenance where I go and for 50, 60, all the way up to $100. I go every week, every 2 weeks to do the same thing. But for some reason, I haven't tapped into that. I haven't tapped into that demographic that wants their cars done every week. I got some people that call me once a month, but I mean that's awesome, man. That I don't know anybody that's doing that. So was that an idea that you came up with, or did it just happen organically?
Uh, the maintenance wash service?
Yeah. Did you come up with that
No,
idea?
actually. So I've actually kind of came up with it after I had actual people asking for like a wash on exterior when I had a detail next to it, right? And it was just like, oh, only exterior, or hey, yeah, give me a wash and just something basic on the interior. I don't want dressing. I don't want nothing. I just want something simple. And that after that, when I saw that I had a lot of people just requesting that during like a detail or whatever, somebody just wants to maintain it, upkeeping it, especially when they got like a higher end vehicle that they don't want to take it to a wash service. And you know, in this time and age, time is money. So some people are willing to pay you just because they don't have to go anywhere. They're still at home, either sleeping or whatever they're doing. I'm out there, cleaning their car, and by the time they're done relaxing or whatever, they hop in their car and they go. So, maintenance wash service, that just kind of like came in, and I tried to push for it because I had an idea that it may work. I wasn't sure, but I was like, the only way I'll know is if I actually try, not like just think that it may work, but not trying. So yeah.
Okay. So your YouTube channel, I really like it. It's very different from every other channel in the
Thanks.
community, and I noticed that you got some videos where we see you actually working and stuff, but it's most of your videos is based on family, hence the name Toly Family Vlogs. Uh, what motivated you to start that channel?
Like the part of detailing and family.
Yeah, your YouTube channel overall.
Okay, so so I'll give you this information. Whenever I got an Android phone, you know how you set up your Google account on your Android or whatever? So that has been set up like way back in 2008, 2009, that I've actually started my business. And I was just setting up my Google account, not literally YouTube account, but part of Google account, your YouTube gets set up as well. And I kind of later on, I just like to watch certain vlogs where families involved, and I kind of started hearing people are making money on YouTube. And honestly, at first it was like, oh, you know what? It's like you're an entrepreneur. You try to go everywhere where you can make money. So I did the detailing part, and I'm like, well, what else can I do? What else I can make this little entertaining? So believe it or not, I was actually talking to my wife, like, I want to say a year to 2 years before I started my YouTube channel. I even have to look up my first video when I posted. I don't even remember what year that was. But before that video, I've been always talking to my wife, like, babe, we should do a YouTube channel, And I was like, it's extra income or whatever. But as far as it stayed with extra income. Once I started doing YouTube, at first I was just doing strictly like just detailing part, and that's like very, very old videos way in the back, like basically I do whatever I filmed, I just slapped it together and put it on. I didn't even put my time into editing or anything like that. And then I realized, I remember when my dad, when we just came here, I remember my dad carrying a big old VHS camcorder, and he would, every time, you remember? Every time we go to the park or like the lake, he'd bring that camera so he can shoot some memories. And I remember my mom and dad. Dad was always about filming everything, and my mom always said, it's memories. Let's take a picture here and there. And being as a kid, back then, I'm like, okay, whatever, taking a picture, video. It just doesn't. It's not the same as now. Now, when I have a family, I'm like, I have to make some memorable moments, not just by remembering, but something that we could look back on. And I was like, okay. I was thinking about, making an extra buck on YouTube for just, showing details, specifically, details, because YouTube is part of Google, which whenever somebody Googles something, it's always how to. It's always what, it's always how-to videos basically pull out more just because of Google. They try to work better with, I guess, with YouTube, finding how do I polish a vehicle, how do I clean out rust out of a wheel. So all those details, push towards Google, and that would pull in revenue, that would pull in views. But then I looked at it and I was like, well, you know what? I think I need to finally start, having my family involved as well, and that way I could have memories. And if somebody watches or not, who cares? My wife, my kids, our family, like, hey, as long as we can look at them, and that's how we're gonna go look in our past, have our memories. So that's the whole reason that I was like, I gotta add in family as well. I can't just be doing this, because once I sat down and I started looking, I was like, man, it's just me and detailing. What the heck, because I was watching them, and either I showed it to my wife or whatever, and she's like, oh well, yeah, it's just work or whatever. And again, because of my wife, I was like, okay, I figured it out. And my wife first, when she's like, okay, yeah, finally agreed to a YouTube channel, but that was just with detailing. And then afterwards, I was like, babe, you know what? We would have some memories, if the family's involved. And she's like, well, I guess we can try. And that's when I've actually literally added, Toly's detail and family vlogs. And, I had my family in there and everything. So my wife helped me with that, but as far as all the videos that I saw on YouTube, but I also do gotta mention this. Even when I started my channel, I didn't really look on YouTube to see if anybody does the same thing. So how this group, I guess call it the new wave, how this came about, because the first person, I remember there was a lot of people, random people that commented, right? But then the most person that actually stood out and I remembered who was commenting was G-Works. And I was like, but whenever he was commenting, I still had no idea what he did. And I had no idea if he had a channel or not. And he was just commenting. And then one time, I think, when the time went by and it came closer to where I found out about you, Sporties, there was and then everybody else because of your life. So I got a text from, or it was a YouTube comment, I can't remember, from G-Works, and he goes, hey, we're live now, A&A Professional Services. That was just like, I never heard of you, I never saw you, but you know how you get notifications, some of the subscribers or whatever, and on your comments on your computer. I think I remember seeing like A&A Professional Services or Sporties, but I never clicked on them. So it wasn't like I was subscribed already, but I guess it was just because of the same keywords, and maybe it was kind of combining together. But then when G-Works wrote, like, yeah, because we all do detailing, and there's everybody that does business, and he's like, there's a whole bunch of group of guys that share ideas and information, and I was like, okay, let me see. And he gave me the your name. I went on there, and I think, I don't know if you remember, and I was you asked me, oh, Toly, how'd you find my channel? And I go, G-Works told me about you. And that was the same time, the same day when he told me. That's the same day when I went on. And from there on, when I subscribed, then I saw Sporties on there, G-Works, and then I started seeing everybody else on there, Randy, Well, of course, as time grew, then there was Randy, there was Ace Mobile Detail, Shimmering Rides. Man, I can't, it's hard to remember now. But yeah, everybody that I've, kind of saw or found out about was on your channel. So, like, there's Twin Works, Father and Son. Oh, yep, there you go. Father and Son Mobile Detailing.
Right.
Man, there's a lot that that I can just go off the top of my head. But yeah, most of them after my YouTube channel took off. After I did my videos, and then when G-Works was the one who kind of told me about everybody on live, getting together and doing this. And I guess I kind of, started checking it out from there on. But one of the things was other people that had videos, and I always wanted to start a YouTube channel, but it was just kind of like a setback, and discussing it between my wife, like, babe, do we start a YouTube channel? Do we not? Or she always was like, like same thing with the detailing. She's like, I don't know. And I was like, man, okay, screw it. This one time, when Patrick used to work with me, one time I was like, okay, I've been talking to my wife way too long, and she just kept, well, you can try, she kept saying. And I was like, Patrick, I'm going today, get in a camera. I got a cheap camera, like $130, and went to Best Buy, bought a video software editing, went down. And that's the next day or so, I posted that first video with Patrick. And it's just all about taking steps. If I keep talking about it or asking my wife, nobody's gonna go out and do it for you. So I just kind of started, from getting the cheapest camera to the cheapest, software, and you go as you progress. Just like with the business.
Hey, Toly.
Yeah.
Do you have a backup van?
Which part exactly?
A backup van. That
yeah.
Like a
which
second
part?
van that you rely on.
No, not a backup plan. He said backup van.
Backup van. I heard you.
Toly finna stun on us, man.
So he probably got to pull out a Mercedes Sprinter or something.
Yeah, he's finna stun on you, man. You just messed up.
Because although this accident has happened, you don't look stressed. Like you don't look like you're in any time. It doesn't look like he's panicking or nothing. Everything's just is regular, which.
Oh damn! Here we go.
Yeah.
Should go out there and put it sideways.
No, well, we can go out there and film if you want.
Yeah.
So you guys want me to show you a little bit of the van?
Yeah, go ahead.
We gotta see it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Do what you got to do.
With the stand.
Grab the stand, just put it up like this.
Yeah. I'll be the cameraman.
Man, I was waiting for a YouTube video. Dang it.
You can still do a YouTube video, man.
All right. Just don't tell anybody. Oh, well,
yeah. Don't tell nobody else.
We can show this real quick. So, how's the lights? Is the lights good?
Yeah.
Okay,
Not bad.
Stay from that side. So, if you guys saw this in my previous videos, this is from that van, the new van. I got rid of it.
Man, ain't waste no time.
Stand down, man.
Can you see it good or no? Or you need camera?
Man, that's
sick, man. It's pretty bad.
That's totaled, ain't it?
Yo, yeah, it's total.
Come over here. Come over here.
That frame is definitely bent.
Come here. So look at this.
You see that?
This is shut. This is shut right here. This is closed. How come it's not on big screen right now?
No, it will change.
Oh, there you go.
Turn it sideways.
Oh, there you go. So look over there.
Yeah.
And then come back.
Toly's fat legs came out of there.
Damn.
So, and look at the mess it caused in here.
Oh man.
Come this way.
This
So,
broke.
Here, come here. Go get the shot of that door. It's not open. That's how it came out to be.
Man.
That door looks sweet.
Yeah, that's some frame damage. Yeah, it's not even worth fixing that.
Mm-mm.
So,
Look what happened to the roof, though. It caved in.
Wow.
Yeah.
so here, go over there. Here,
Damn.
go over here. Point it that way so the lights don't mess up. So, here's one thing I gotta say about the Chevy Express. The damage on that side, all this, is up to here. You would say that I was either going fast, but the reality is the support is plastic on here. There is no frame, durable frame on top. So this is all like a can. It just swooshed in. So if you look at the bottom, the bumper and the frames, they didn't even get bent. But everything over here is like a can pretty much. So
Right.
if you want to, put heavy weight against 40 miles an hour, this is what happens.
Wow.
Yeah, the Chevy Express up front is pretty hollow.
So yeah, all this right here, if you look right here, this is all just fender. Bro, you don't have to be.
Yeah, I can't see.
I got the zoom action.
I don't know if I'm that good, but
Go around this
Look
way.
at this dude, man. We got the Dodge boy.
Okay. So, I don't want to go into. I don't know if I should tell you guys what's the reason I decided this, but originally I was going with the Ford Transit.
Yo, I like
Well,
those
first it
little
was-
transits.
First, it was Mercedes Sprinter. Am I good on there? It's not the light. First, I was going with Mercedes Sprinter. Then it was supposed to be Ford Transit, and I came out on top with a ProMaster. So we didn't finish setting that up all the way. Still gotta get my extras figured out. This seat I installed for a reason, for the heck of it. If I ever need to get the seats out, push off two pulls and the seats are out.
You can seat about four or five in there, four in there.
6-seater. Six
Six-seater. Dang.
1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2 in the front.
Yeah, man. That's how I was thinking, man.
Oh, okay. So, and this is part of the,
Mobile detailing.
mobile detail. Are you guys coming? Yeah, a little bit. This is my favorite part right here.
Yeah, man. Yeah, them doors, man. Those things come in handy.
And Toly, you don't waste no time.
It took me 3 days to set this up.
I know.
It, the 22nd, when I was driving to LA, this is what I was picking up. So I picked it up on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, nonstop. Didn't go to sleep. We were working on this, setting it up. So the frame, everything that's bolted, all few things that still need to be attached. But we, for the most part, we needed, the pressure washer, the 275-gallon tote, the vacuum reel. So we put everything in that we need, to continue my ongoing maintenance for customers. So basically, on Tuesday of March 20th, that's when I got an accident. Wednesday, what?
Was it March 20th?
Yeah, Tuesday. March 20th. Then Wednesday, the 21st, we were looking for a vehicle. Come here, babe. Come here, babe. Yeah. No, don't. My wifey found this ProMaster. She always tells me about this. I found your Chevy Express, and I found this. Thank you, babe.
Yeah.
Okay. So we found it on Wednesday. On Wednesday, pretty much Thursday at 1 a.m., which was the Thursday already, 1 a.m., we drove out to LA. We had a 2-hour setback because of there was a semi-truck crossing the whole freeway. We couldn't go around or nothing. So we got there, came back Thursday about 11 o'clock. What? What's going on? Thursday, 11 o'clock p.m., we got back to the shop, got some sleep, woke up Friday, stayed up till 5 a.m., taking everything apart from that one. And then Saturday, started cutting out frames because we had to attach the 275-gallon tank, all this stuff. We started setting it up. So I had to paint all these brackets, metal brackets. And on Sunday to Monday, we finished about at 3 a.m. on Monday of next week. So it took me a week to get this and get it up and running.
Yeah, man, that's what it is, man. Being a boss, man. Fixing problems.
I'm asking you because I'm not done, setting it up yet. Yes. Hi.
I knew there was some crazy.
There's so much room in there.
So, but check this out. See this from here? It's not. Don't do. You can just do this. Huh? So go back so you can see the whole thing. No, don't just turn it like this. Yeah. So this piece right here, this came out of the Astra. Why am I saying Astra? Damn.
Chevy Express.
Chevy Express. And this how wide the Chevy Express was. And this is to add on to this van because of how much more roomier, how much more bigger it is. This is 65 inches side versus 55 inches.
Yeah, we don't have any picture. I don't have any picture over here.
And this is how wide it was, Chevy Express, right here. And this is how wide.
Hey, is your
Yes. Oh yeah.
A bad bit.
Favorite part. So, you know how there's 1,500, 2,500, 3,500? Oh wait, should have. It's kind of dirty already, but
we can show a little of it. Got a touch screen up in there.
Oh, yeah. Hold it with my finger.
Man, Toly's always stunting on us, man. We gotta level up, man. I said we gotta level up, Toly.
So,
I got
side?
5 cameras on that thing.
so when I made the video of driving back, and I had my phone, which was right here on the dash, and this is what I filmed. I was showing this cluster speedometer when I came back, and I walked out of this, and that's when I said, "Welcome to the next chapter of my life."
Okay, right. Okay, I remember that.
It's pretty high off the ground.
So,
Really amazing vehicle.
so here.
Hey, so what part of California are you in?
What part of California? Sacramento. It took me 7 hours. 7 hours, babe. How long was it? 7 hours? 8 hours?
7.
So it was double. So basically, with the time and everything, it came out, to be 1 a.m. We left. 1 a.m. we left for LA, and then 11 p.m.
What's so funny?
So it took me 24 hours, pretty much.
Wow.
Going there and back, because we had to pull over, we had to eat, and all that stuff. But here, let me give you some specs on this. What was the reason? Payload of carrying weight on an interior. 1,500, the lowest class, carries 3,800 pounds. On Chevy Express, my old Chevy Express, the 1,500, carried 1,600 pounds. That's like double. And check this out. On the Chevy Express 3,500, carries the 3,500 pounds, like it is. The 3,500, the 2,500, that's what they carry, the weight, payload. This tops it on 300 pounds more, 3,800 pounds. On the interior, height-wise, 65 inches, all I have to do is do this, and I can be fully standing. Which, I got room still inside here. So you can pretty much stand there, and all I have to do is this.
So he's standing. Pretty much like a school bus.
So, the example how wide it is with the Chevy Express, that's that
Hey, Toly,
bar that I showed across.
275-gallon tank, and show him how much it.
So my tank right now is full, and this is the height right now. So when it's not full, it's probably about this high. So it goes down about 2 inches. 275 gallons of water is about 2,300 pounds, and this supports 3,800 pounds. So with even including like my generator and all that stuff, I would add another 300 pounds, and that's still 2,300, 2,600 pounds. And I can deal with 3,800 pounds.
More economical than that one.
More economical, smaller gas tank. It's a 24-gallon tank versus a 30-gallon tank on a Chevy Express. When I was driving it from LA, I got almost 400 miles to a tank on the 24-gallon. On a Chevy Express, I did best ever was 360 miles on a 30-gallon tank. So it's more economical. One of the other things I gotta say, if anybody does their homework like I like to do my homework, Wednesday when we're looking for all the vehicles, that was when I was going through Sprinter, Ford Transit, Dodge Ram. I was doing all that the same time, and I was, come here, babe, again. While I was doing that, and I told my wife, babe, look for a Ford Transit.
She's sitting there, Ford Transit, looking, and I'm like looking at the specs of it, and I'm like, babe, never mind, cancel out the Transit. Start looking for a Dodge Ram ProMaster. What? What's that? Just look for a ProMaster. So she found it, which was, I think, when I found out, you know, the specs and everything, of course. So the height-wise sold it for me, because this roof right here is not the high roof. This is the low roof. On the low roof, you can stand inside. Now, the problem with the high roofs, because I was trying to go with the auction first. I was trying to go to auction, buy something first, but then, you know, I saw that it was going to take time for me to fix it and then set it up. So we had to find something that it was, you know, ready to go, which for a good price. Which, again, babe, thank you. But this is 65 inches height, wider, carries double the weight of a Chevy Express 3500. Well, not double, but 300 pounds more than a Chevy Express 3500. And I didn't put any bags. Now, one thing that I still didn't mention, it's front wheel drive. It's not rear wheel drive.
Wow.
No, nothing. So this kind of sold it for me because of it's more stable. So it's more I want to say responsive. So if you were up to go up a hill on if you were about to go up a hill with a Ford Transit and a ProMaster on a snowy hill, ProMaster would pull out because of the once you hit that hill, the ProMaster's weight starts to distribute, goes onto the front portion, and your front wheels is what pulls it. On the Ford Transit, once it goes up top, the weight comes off from the back of the tires, it just starts spinning out. So there is some benefits with the front wheel drive, like no rear differential, less maintenance. You don't have to worry about it. Just like I had the problem with the Chevy Express on the rear axle shafts, I had to take apart the differential, flush the fluid, had to install it, and then refill the differential. So it's a lot of more maintenance work. So this, for maintenance-wise, is smart. For the fuel, for the size, it's just perfect. Because of even the low roof, you don't hit drive-through if you go to like Chick-fil-A or or any restaurant. Because I started seeing when I was looking for a high roof, I started seeing an auction. First, when we was going to with the auction, somebody ran into something and smashed the roof. Same thing at a dealer. I found a couple that had actually smashed roof because somebody drove into it. Yeah, we're cold. So there's
Toly,
a lot of details that we can still go into.
how many miles a year you do?
How many miles a year do you do?
What? Who said that?
He.
Oh, bro. How do I figure out?
Well, how many miles do you do to Brooks, for example? That's all you need to.
Okay, that's like I go out there 4 times a week.
Yeah, and how many miles one time?
60 miles one way.
60?
60 miles one way.
60 miles
so
one way.
120 miles there and back.
So that's just one of his jobs, 60 miles one way.
120 both ways.
Both ways, 120. So that's just one job that he has, that he goes over there, and then he has other ones.
And then other places that I'm not counting. That's the farthest place that I go, is 60 miles one way, which are paying the $100 on-site fee. But yeah, got a backup camera now, so I know what I'm hitting.
There, right?
And then here, go back, bro.
I know you got a drone. You got a drone landing pad.
Here's the most important of all, because of my accident, you know.
Is that a camera or a
There
mic?
you go. Dash cam.
Dash cam.
I have back and front dash cams.
Front and back.
That's the dash cam that saved me, you know, on my Chevy Express. that's the part that, you know, I have already the police report, but I guess I'm not gonna say anything right now.
No, don't say anything.
You guys are gonna have to find out later
Yeah,
on.
don't say it on camera.
And basically, that's what I was supposed to do. I was supposed to edit that video today, but I guess it won't happen. But you know, I'm okay.
Yeah,
I'll
please
have some
do.
time eventually.
Tomorrow.
So, oh, my usual, you know, setup electric. Bro, you can show them. Here's my. I can see this portion of the motor. The.
No, it's not that. It's that one.
Yeah.
Oh, your brother Millie rocking with the phone.
Okay. Can you see?
Somebody taking it.
My favorite part. Yeah.
It's fishing someone in.
Hey, who's taking my vacuum back? Same thing on the pressure washer reel. There you show it right there. Like this.
You got a lot of space in there.
Yeah, man. Plenty of space.
And then batteries. Wireless receiver. Right here.
I think that guy hit the button that's recording, that's holding the camera.
What happened?
Now we was losing the feed for a couple seconds. Couldn't see.
Oh. Oh, you're probably connected to your Wi-Fi. It went out too far
Okay.
because he said he was losing the scene for a couple seconds.
Oh,
Yeah, nobody hit anything. We're just, I guess he was using the Wi-Fi from his shop.
Okay.
Yeah, it's looking good, looking good.
Man, that's awesome, man. I mean, man, call that man the comeback kid. That joker
That's what I'm
bounced
saying,
back.
man. I knew it was some type of story behind it because he don't look like he's panicking or nothing.
Look. This is the thing with the windows. I just fixed a customer came in here for a window regulator. Look, here, the same thing issue. No windows enclosed.
Yeah, does it pull up?
No, right now, today.
It's stuck.
Awesome.
So I'm gonna have to work on that right now too.
It's gonna rain tomorrow.
Window regulator,
Yeah, I'll do it.
remember auto shop, man.
Man, that man do all kind of stuff.
It just needs some buffing and it's all good.
I said wait.
Hey, Lucas, come here. Lucas, come
Put on
here.
your sweater.
Family time right there.
Oh.
Lucas, please ride her. Lucas, please ride her. Is the light work?
Go put on your sweater though. Get in the car.
Have the lights
Yo,
on.
Toly.
Let's go back.
Toly, you got
Let's go back
a
into
helicopter. You got a landing pad for the drone on the van?
He's working on it.
Yeah, he's
I'm working
working
on it.
Why don't you go do live while you're fixing our window?
Oh, do it live? Hey, okay.
I'm just kidding. I'm just saying I need to go. So like.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Don't mess up someone else's time.
Okay.
Man, that was dope, man. I mean, you bounced right back.
Yes, I have to.
Man.
Everybody know that day could happen at any moment, man. You just want to be able to get it over with.
No, or maybe worse, it just needs to be charged.
On a mission.
I noticed something. Right? So you wouldn't, but for them you did, huh? I'm just kidding.
I didn't even know that
That's
I
why I
would.
keep the backup buckets, man.
Do it in your place.
Backup buckets on deck.
How was it?
I'll talk about it later.
Is it same thing as resurrection?
Good, beautiful? Yeah.
Is it
Someone
resurrection?
in the no, turn this way.
Is it
You're
resurrection?
good.
Or no? Different people?
Different people.
I got a haircut today.
Hey, hey, Toly, how many kids do you have?
4.
4 kids.
Ah.
Mark, where's everybody? Okay, everybody. Okay, here,
As
find
the
the camera.
sleeping.
Find the camera. Where are they? Right there, on the right. No. Find where are they?
Sleeping.
Where's Lucas?
You give me a ride?
Did he go over there? No. Okay, go right. I think. Go right.
There he is.
Oh, there he is. Zoom in.
You're coming in.
He like, where everybody go?
Okay, turn on the other video.
What?
4.
Makeup remover.
Double click.
What?
In the car. That thing is open. What thing? The makeup bag?
You can zoom in on that. Turn right there. Right there. Turn.
Did you already use Whoops, I forgot.
Good job, babe. Good job.
Sorry.
You're awesome. Okay, bro. Set up on the 4.
Yo, what's the population in Sacramento? That's the capital, right?
Yeah.
I'll be
I don't
winning
have.
in the capital.
Honey, you know what you just asked?
Hmm.
Can you go hammer something?
What?
Look at those words.
What?
Connect them.
Most randomest question ever.
Thank you.
No, I didn't let you.
Population is 495,000.
Woo.
All right.
San Francisco has 864,000. Wow.
That's good stuff, man. Well, I'm glad you didn't get hurt. Did you get any injuries? I saw that you were showing, like you got some scars on your knees and legs.
Yeah. That was March of 20th. It's all gone. Even the bruises, just a little bit.
Right.
Right here, that's it.
Okay. Man, you lucky, man.
All right, that's my oldest kid right here, Lucas.
Okay.
Let's say hi.
Hi.
Hey, now.
You want to say hi? Come here.
Go say hi.
Babe, can you go check him out, please?
I told Mari to go.
Wait, so I think people are watching.
Excuse me.
Mari.
No,
Maybe
it's
say hi.
1700.
Say hi. Okay, she's shy.
Hey.
Lucas, you're kind of, blocking her. You say
Hi.
I mean,
okay, yeah,
original.
yeah, that's fine.
Like you can see the door.
Perfect.
With that.
Yeah, so my dad and my brother are my best helpers right now.
You should say how
Oh, you got your dad working with you.
From morning all the way till 4 a.m.
I didn't mention.
We were.
I didn't mention.
Well, it was most of your guys' work, but I kind of.
He's very sneaky already.
My dad had to do some welding in there.
Look at Mark. Look at Mark. He's flying the fire out.
Frying the fire.
He was doing this with the fire.
Yeah, so
He's a professional welder in my band. Shit.
Oh, sure. I just noticed that the camera shakes when they close the door.
yes, it is.
Is he sleeping?
Yes, it does.
Wow.
You know what this looks like? A sprinter, the criminal.
Why?
We
Yeah.
flagging the flag.
No, like this one. Look.
We can't know.
Toly.
My first child, but you can't.
Straight.
I call this land America.
Straight. But it used to be like that, like a U shape. Yeah. Well,
My neck is.
I guess you guys know that now. My
new setup is your, I guess, the 4.0 Toly's detailing. What?
After, can you show me what that thing does?
That's dangerous.
Oh.
And buddy, can you not interrupt me, please?
I don't even know how to check how much.
Are you watching yourself?
So, Toly, your dad is your dad's retired or something?
Yeah, he doesn't work anywhere.
So he works with you. Does he work with you all the time, or just when he wants to?
Yeah, he you know,
Take a break.
he takes a break here and there, but he's with me like all the time almost.
Wow, now that's great, man. That. You know, you hired your dad, man. That's cool.
Yeah, he's a big help in all of this.
Okay, man. You know, it's nice talking to you, Tolys, man. To see what your what your lifestyle is like, man. I mean, I'm sorry that you had to go through that accident. But
I mean,
I knew you would bounce back. Yeah, you just got too much passion to give up. Man, I knew you would bounce back, but not this fast though. That call you the comeback
well,
kid.
it slowed me down. Huh? It slowed me down since I had to, take 24 hours to drive to LA. So I probably
Right.
could have get it done even faster than that.
Right.
Plus, you were not working 2 weeks before.
But yeah, and the funny thing is that it rained like bad for 2 weeks, and so I wasn't really working. I wasn't going out anywhere, and I go out, and that's what happened. So yeah, but you know what? I want to say that I think God really did. This came out to be, I want to say, more of a blessing than what I'm looking at. I just look at it as a blessing. That's all. I mean, it's not nice what happened, but it didn't happen. But there's a lot more that I consider being a blessing than an actual.
Something good came out of it.
Accident. Second.
Something good came out of it.
Yeah, well, multiple things.
Right.
Found the best price on the van because it was posted like I don't know how long, and everything just kind of made sense with the timing. So yeah, a lot of it, like even in the background, made a lot of sense with everything.
All right, man. I'm glad you was able to stop by, man.
Yep.
Yeah, we're not gonna hold you too long, big dog, man. We glad that you stopped through and blessed us with your presence, man. I know everybody's glad that you were okay.
Thank you. I appreciate it, guys.
And man, we'll catch you next time, man. I'm glad you did it, man. Everybody, this was Toly's from Toly's Family Vlogs.
Oh, and Julie's on there. Julie, what's up?
Okay.
My sister.
Okay, so your sister's on here, okay. And
Yeah, comment.
yeah, it was just. But if you guys notice, I've done 3 interviews, and if you remember, it was Sporty's, Eric Jones, and now Toly's, and all three people said the same type of things as far as focusing on getting customers, focus on the business side of things. You heard Toly's in the beginning saying that he wasn't too much worried about equipment and chemicals and stuff like that. He was trying to get the customers. And this is I want y'all to hear these from other people that are successful. I want y'all to hear this from them because that's very important. And because I keep preaching, I see it in the chat all the time. People talking about chemicals, water tanks, products, uh, equipment, and stuff like that. Now it's important because you need it to work, but that shouldn't be you should be trying to get, a lot of people are worried, so focused on being the best detailer or like I said, equipment and stuff like that. But you got to get customers, and once you get your customers, let your customers decide who's the best detailer. All right, Tolis, man, I appreciate you, man.
Yep.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you for doing this, man. We try. I know G-Works is probably gone. I saw he signed out, man. We trying to get him on there, him and Christy on here.
Yeah, you keep running.
he gonna get tired of running. He gonna get tired of running. We gonna get him. We're gonna get him on here. You got anything you want to say, Tolis, before we get out here?
Well, first of all, my kid is trying to build something. I don't know what.
He's taking out his father.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I've saw some of Sporty's live, but Eric Jones, I never saw him get on until I just watched the video later because I was physically sitting trying to put out the videos that I did.
Right.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I got to get these videos up. So I had to leave the live chat, and I went on to what happened. I did an uppercut. So yeah, but like you said, I was surprised that it does what you said that me or Sporty's, Eric Jones and I said the same thing, that you need to be focused on getting a customer, not trying to get the chemicals and supplies and then worry about the customer.
Right.
I mean, you have to have a certain setup. You have to have something decent. I mean, but the bigger focus, the number one focus, is to be, how are you going to go about getting those clients?
Exactly.
That's what you need to be standing on at first.
Exactly, because if you don't have customers, you don't need equipment.
Yes. And then now I guess I'll just say this a little more, just because now I remembered. As far as doing all the YouTube videos, right? When I just got onto videos, and then I found out about everybody, about you, Sporties, and everybody. Before, when I was doing even video, I'll just be honest with you. I don't know if everybody's like that, but I was a little stubborn, like either with business or with family. So if somebody tells me otherwise, or if somebody was telling me like, here's my advice, try to do this or that, and I wouldn't listen. I was just like that. But also with this video that I started with YouTube, how you start recording a certain scene or whatever, and whether it was with family or at work, and sometimes just natural conversations, just happen between each other, and whether it's a good conversation. What are you doing?
He wants that welding helmet.
Whether it's a good conversation or you get into an argument out of a conversation. And I saw myself, like, let's say if I was talking to my wife and how rude I came out, about whatever she was trying to suggest to me. If I wouldn't have that camera, if I wasn't recording, I probably still wouldn't see myself from a different eye. But I guess when, it's kind of like, almost like, I don't know if people are talking about, you got to go to a therapy or whatever, to find out your, issues or whatever. But once that I saw myself on video physically, how stubborn I was, how rude I was. I mean, I was like looking at the video, and I'm like, man, I'm not going to put that in. And then at that point, it didn't click in my head, like, I need to change. I was just like, man, what the heck? Man, again, screw up. Man, again, screw up. And I would just like, just cut him out. And then after a while, when I started doing more videos, which a while back when, the videos weren't even edited. So it was like the videos that I just kind of slapped together and I put them out there. That was a while back when I literally just started with the videos, and it never clicked for me to change. It was always like, dang it, now I gotta redo the scene. Dang it, it was always that. But the more I saw myself, being stubborn and doing all that, and I looked at it as, okay, I try my best for my business. Why can't I try my best for my family? So
Right.
everybody has issues. I mean, everybody has problems, but it's about how to resolve it. Is it a better way versus, yelling, arguing? Yeah. One recommendation I want to say is for anyone, I'm just like anybody, trust me, this helped me see myself from the other side probably in the best way possible. And this came out in a good way for me. Because now, if I do talk to somebody, I don't sit there and be like, whatever you're trying to suggest, whatever you're trying to tell me, I'm right. You're not telling me anything. I know how wrong I could be just because of there were scenarios or scenarios with having a video, and I say something, and my wife interrupts me. I say something, and the person goes, "What? Why would you do that?" And I'm like, "Well, what are you talking about?" "Well, you said you're gonna, do this and that," and I'm like, "No, I didn't," And then I'm like, "Okay, let me just check this video." And I'm like, "Wow, do I really need to record myself that much to see how of an ugly side there is?" So,
Yeah.
For that reason, even with YouTube, as far as adding on the family, it was all just because this vlog, this channel, helped me see myself from the camera, because I wouldn't stop the camera, I let it roll, through whatever, the case was, because I like to set up a camera on a tripod and I set it somewhere, and that's how I like to approach it sometimes. And that's how, I set it and it just records, and whatever happens, happens. But as as I went by with seeing all these videos of myself, that's when I realized I'm not the best person, so I gotta change that. And I guess this has kind of just opened up more for me to not only be taking progress with my business, but I also have to take progress with my family.
Right.
And thank you, man. And out of the suggestion and open to listening to advices, that all came out just because I even see myself where I would say, no, this is right and this is wrong. And I would play back the video to see what I've actually said, and it was just, bizarre. So yeah, but overall, if I wouldn't probably ever started the YouTube channel, never would have recorded myself, I probably wouldn't even think about trying to change myself.
Right.
Just because I try with the business of every step that I did, after I did this step, I'm like, okay, I succeeded in doing this step. Now I know what next step I need to do, and I need to do this step. So same thing with the family. All right, I've been a little too mean.
I have kids now, obviously.
What?
I have kids now. I'm kidding.
What does that mean? What do you mean? So with the family, I was like, you know what? I can't go to work and be nice to my customers and come home and be rude to my family. So all this YouTube channel actually played a role for our business, played a role for my home, my family. It just everything changed once I started seeing, how I really acted. But honestly, I'll tell you this: if nobody believes me, I have surveillance camera at home. I have surveillance cameras here. So whenever there's an argument or whatever, and I want to rewatch myself, it's a constant reminder. I'm like looking at it, like, okay, no, I was good at least this time. Okay, I'm getting better. I'm getting better. So if anybody want to test this yourself, if you ever have a video, camera or whatever, if you ever have
Right.
an issue of getting into an argument or little things, I'm not talking about something big. It truly helped me to see myself, so I wasn't always right. Because even if I was saying I was right all the time, truly I wasn't until I saw the video of myself, if that makes sense. It's like I was, someone else and seeing this person and thinking it's not me. So, yeah, this helped out a lot with the YouTube channel and, yeah, trying to, be more positive. That's why I try to do the stay beautiful, stay positive, being blessed. Till next time. That's why I keep constantly adding that in.
Good reminder.
Good to know.
Good reminder, just to
Good. It's a good reminder to staying positive.
Right. Man, that's I never thought about that, but I don't me, my recording is deliberate. Like I don't set cameras up like that. Mine is deliberate. It's just what I'm doing, and I edit it, and that's it. But but sometimes I don't need a camera to know when I'm. Sometimes I don't need a camera to know when I'm wrong. Sometimes in the heat of just an argument, you already took a side, and it's like now it's just like you against the other person, and it gets to a point where it doesn't matter what the person says. Even in the argument, like if you took it too far, it's hard to just say, okay, I was wrong. You try to find a way to, now it becomes a competition. It's like, okay, I gotta win, so yeah. But that's interesting, man. It seems like YouTube is kind of therapeutic for you.
That's what I've been saying to my wife. Like, babe, you should have had me start this sooner.
Right.
Yeah. But I will say this. Once that I figure out all with this, how it helped me out, and then I've started seeing everybody on your live chats and everything, and I was like, wow, there is people just like sharing ideas and everything, and that was the whole point where I was saying before, just being stubborn and I wasn't open to listening much to anybody. So even though I was like still somewhat okay, but the moments that happen of argument or whatever, this is where I wanted to change.
Right.
And now at least like how you say, it comes when you take it too far. Now it becomes a competition. That's
Right.
where I am trying not to get to that stage.
Right.
So if I have an argument with somebody, right, or I shouldn't call it argument anymore. I should say if we're having a discussion, right, and disagreement, and somebody says no, I think this way, and I'm like, and I just sit there and I'm like, I physically try to think over it, and I go, you know what, I might be wrong. I'm not going to say I'm 100%. If some person is telling me, repeat it again and say no, this is how it is, I will agree, and I will actually sit there, couple seconds or whatever, and I will physically think about it and then try to answer. Before it was just like, listen, stop, don't tell me,
Right.
it's different.
And the thing about it, and that's why I've said this in a video before. I don't give random advice one on one with the person. Like if I'm talking to a person, I just don't give them advice because they may not be ready to receive it. But if they ask me, then they're open for it. Because most people, they either know or feel like they know the path they need to take. And you have to allow them to take their own path. And when they come to when they come to a crossroad or something, they may stop and just say, you know what, I know someone that may know something about this. Let me call Toly's. They'll call you and they'll ask you for your advice, and then that's when they're open to receive your advice. Because I would think I'm helping someone by trying to give them advice, but at that point, they're not ready to receive it. That's how an argument happen. That's how an argument starts. So that's why I just here and there I may say, hey, you should try this, you should try that, but just all out full advice trying to coach someone. I don't do that unless they ask me. That's how I refrain from, that's how I get out of arguments. I just keep my mouth shut unless I'm asked something.
Wow, we all think alike.
All right. Yeah, it's crazy, man, because I tell my I tell my friends and I tell other people that most successful people or people that are entrepreneurs, they all do the same things. They all think alike, and it has to be a formula or some type of blueprint. It has to be because me and Sporties will get on the phone sometimes and we'll talk for hours. We don't talk about detailing. We talk about other stuff, man, and we talk for hours and we think exactly on most things. We agree on most things and we think exactly the same. And I'm saying this has to be part of the blueprint or part of the keys to success. And that's why I just keep regurgitating it. That's why I put you guys on, because I want to know what's Toly's perspective. I want to know what's Sporty's perspective. Because even though we thinking the same, it's still going to be a little different because we're different people. You and Sporties, we're full time. This is what we do. You got other people who have part-time jobs. So I was like, Eric Jones has a job. Let me call Eric Jones and hit, because I can't give you a perspective on working a 9 to 5 and then running a business, because that's not me. I want to be my own boss. I don't want to work for anybody. But that doesn't make it right. And it doesn't make it wrong either. It's just different. And so I wanted to get Eric Jones on there so he could give his perspective to the working man that wants to start a business. So but I mean, we all saying the same things. We saying stuff like, we was getting tired of this. You and Sporties have a lot in common. He has something on his record as well. And his back was against the wall. And so I think that people like us, we at our best when our back is against the wall. And I don't have a record. I was a cop, but I did have situations where my back was against the wall. So, and it's funny, man. It's funny, like it's because if I had been a cop and I'd never done this, I probably wouldn't even converse with Sporties. But it's crazy how it's people on both different sides of the law think exactly the same, and have actually more in common than I have more in common than with a lot of you guys than I did with other officers that I work with. So yeah, man. But it was good talking to you, man. I'm glad that I got you on here, man, because I wanted people to hear we're saying the same things, and I text Toly's. I mean, I hit him up in his comment section on YouTube and told him to send me his number, and I text him. We've talked on YouTube, but we've never talked in person. We've never texted each other until recently. I said, look, do you want to do an interview? I didn't tell him. I didn't tell him what I was going to ask him. I didn't tell him anything. I just said, do you want to do a video? He said, okay. I just shot the questions off, and first thing he said, I'm not worried about the equipment. I'm worried about getting customers. And that's what I keep preaching. That's what I keep preaching. A lot of us, we get on here and we're worried about being the best detailer. And we were, oh, that's cute. We worried about the best detailer, and we worried about equipment and things that don't bring you money unless you have the customers. The customers is what's going to bring you the money. Yes, true indeed. You need the equipment to do the job, but you gotta have the customers. So I'm so glad that you said
Yeah.
that. Look at little buddy. I remember my little man was that small.
Yeah, I was surprised myself that because it's Sporties. I've heard a little bit that he mentioned that, but I didn't know Eric Jones said the same thing.
Yeah, he. But see, this is the thing. He might not have said it the way you did, but in the discussion, he never brought up chemicals. He never brought up equipment. You see what I'm saying? You never brought up you never brought up anything, but you just because of your situation, you showed us your equipment. But
Well, I will. It's it's about progress. So you got to take baby steps. You got to take the proper baby steps.
right,
If you don't take baby steps and you take big leaps, if you take big leaps, then you get in deeper to whatever you're trying to do, whether you succeed or whether you fall. So if you dig deeper and you fall, that means you fall deeper. So that's what I've been saying. That it's a baby step that you take with the clients. You set up. You go. What you need? Boy, you need a little pressure washer, 100 gallon tank with water. That's how I started with little stuff. I didn't go
right,
out and get top of the line, equipment. That's when I saw that I've actually succeeded with getting customers. That's when with the Nissan Sentra. That's when I was like, look, I was going out with Nissan Sentra doing like headlights, doing like little chrome polishes, and I was like, that's little stuff. I need to add more. So I didn't jump into the Astro at first. I was like, okay, I see that when I try to push for customers, when I try to physically get them, they're coming, they're happening. But now that I am getting that, I need a little more of services. That's where I went to like an auction, and I bought that Chevy Astro for like $1,500, and got that Chevy Astro, put in a 100 gallon tank. Nothing was even strapped, nothing was tied down. It was just kind of sitting there. I put it down, kind of did the hosing, put like a little 12-volt water pump, and that's how I went out and I did all those washes. Once was getting customers with that, then I did a little improvement with like a pump or something like that in the Astro. Okay, that's been going on. Now that I saw that I was getting more equipment and it was getting full, I got it to the Chevy Express. And that's what I kept doing. I didn't go out and got the Dodge Ram ProMaster like I did now. I saw that people started using my service. Okay, I'm glad they're doing it. Now let me look at my equipment. So I didn't go to the equipment and then come back and look at the customers. I came and looked at the customers. After I saw the customers, I started upgrading little things that what people are asking for additional services. And that's what I've been doing. I've been following the steps, baby steps. I didn't jump over and say, okay, in order for me to do this, I'm going to go out, I'm going to buy a $25,000 van, I'm going to go get top of the line equipment, and then I'm going to go look for customers. That's doing reverse, basically. So like even with, the wash services that I've started building up, with wash services that I build up, and it took time up to this year right now, not doing any additional advertising, customers would have been probably filling out most of my days, even if I didn't have the maintenance wash service. It's all about patience. So if I didn't have the maintenance wash service, I would still have my usual customers that only bring in for details. And there's a lot of them now that would happen. For this day, I would have somebody call me that usually get their vehicles done, or I would be either getting constantly new customers. So with whether I would stop doing the wash service or I would continue with details, I stay with my steps. I just don't change it back. I just got the shop now because of I had to have a place to keep vehicles if I need to do details. Because when I started, I had to run around like crazy with details because it was a mobile. I had to get it done the same day. Now I can take my time. I can do good quality. I can afford a shop. So it's all about if you see you can afford it, then you go and take the next step. If you
right.
can't afford it, you don't go and jump, jump ahead and be like, okay, I'm screwed. This is not working out. So it's just about taking, smart steps. And
Right.
baby steps work better than jumping deep or taking big leaps. I would want to say, is that right? Big leaps.
Right.
Yes.
That's right.
So all the customers right now, I still stick with the wash services because it is more of a recurring payment than if I try to wait for those original customers that do bring in for details. I set up something to where I know I'm gonna wake up the next day. I'm gonna go make
More stable.
more. Yeah. Wake up the next day and I know I'm going to the same people. I know what kind of vehicles I'm doing. I know what to expect. I know how fast it's going to take me more versus if a new customer calls me, for a dirty vehicle I have never dealt with, I've never seen with, and now it's going to be a little hard for me to figure out what my time frame is going to be because I don't know how bad the vehicle is. I don't know how long it's going to take me. I don't know if I'm going to run into something. So that plays a big role. If you're successful and you can afford a shop, you bring it in, you're stuck with something, guess what? You didn't finish that day. You can produce still good quality by saying, oh, I'm not going to be done today. I need it for 2-3 days. I'll have it done then. And then the person actually comes back because he likes your work. Where if you try to, rush a job and you don't do good quality, trust me, the word goes around. People are not going to be calling you. A lot of customers come from physical advertising, but there's also word of mouth. Half of the people are business, half of the people could be word of mouth. So don't you want to get at least half with physical advertising and at least half with the word of mouth? That's like double of your income. And if you get a new customer from advertising, you screw up, the detail, you don't do something right, or whatever the case is, you don't do a good job, guess what? They look at it and they're like, okay, you know what? I'm not calling this guy again. Who knows? They have a friend or whatever. There's people that got money. There's people that are poor. So they have friends with money. People that don't have money. They're like, hey, you know what? I tried this guy, but guess what? Don't go to him.
Right.
I took it there. Didn't do a good job. You gotta find somebody else. But as far as you trying to work with your advertising, and then you try to advertise through the customer of doing the quality that you want to, keep, that you want your customer to come back. So that's one of the things, I just wanted to add.
So I love to talk a lot.
You can say louder. I'm okay.
You can start drinking your coffee now.
My wife says I talk a lot. Sorry, guys. It's a habit.
Yeah, man. It's no problem, man. It makes a good interview, man, because people need to hear it. People need to hear it, man, because uh, when I look at my comment section, uh, every now and again I get somebody asking me how to get customers, and I get people, but most of my questions is about equipment. Most of my questions is always about equipment or chemicals. And I'm thinking to myself, if you're trying to start a business, why nobody asking? Why I don't get a lot of questions about how to get customers? And then some people, they get frustrated because they didn't focus on how to get customers. Now they bought all this expensive equipment and they can't get their money back on their investment, or they're financed it and they're not making enough money to make the payments. And then next thing you know, you see them on Facebook Marketplace talking about just selling a whole detail setup.
Yep. It's always right about working forward, not backwards.
Right. All right, Sporties, man. I'm gonna get out of here, man. It was nice talking to you, man. I'm glad you was able to do this, man. Anytime I can have somebody that can show that can give their perspective and kind of give a little background on how they started and you know, it's motivating for other people because you got a lot of people going through what you went through years ago. They're going through it right now, and they need to hear it so they can know that it's going to be okay if they just keep doing it. And like you said, keep taking baby steps.
So yeah, I think you said Sporties. Were you talking to Sporties?
Yeah, Sporties was on here. I think he might have, he might have fell asleep.
You said, "All right, Sporties, let me get out of here," or something like that.
Yeah. I think he might have. I think he might have fell asleep or something, man. But that's how he is.
What time is it there?
It's probably it's where Sporties is. It's 11. It's 10 p.m. where I'm at. And one thing I've learned about Sporties is if he sits still too long, he's gonna fall asleep. And just because he works so hard, I mean, this guy's up like 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning. So if he sits down and because usually he has his face on here, but when he took his face off, I was like, it's a matter of time for this guy goes to sleep if he sits still too long. So he's
probably sleeping.
He's probably asleep, yeah. But it's all good, man. I'm glad you got to do it, man. Man, shouts out to the new wave. For you guys who has not subscribed to Toly's channel, most of you probably are. Go ahead and subscribe to his channel. It's called Toly's Family Vlogs. Real good video.
Detailing.
You guys shorten up your name.
Yeah. Did I mess your name up?
Oh, it's Toly's Detailing and Family Vlogs.
Okay, I'm sorry. Toly's Detailing and Family Vlogs. And in my opinion, he has the most underrated channel in this detailing community.
Thank you.
Did you hear that?
I mean,
my wife said thank you.
Yes, the editing quality is like on point. The camera shots, all of that, like the content is awesome because it's constantly changing. And a person like me, I got ADD, so like I stay attentive the whole video because it's just always a lot of stuff going on. You see kids playing over here, you see a shot of his wife, you see a shot of his brother, then you see them going on vacation, you see them driving in the car. I mean, it's interesting, man. It's cool how you incorporate family. It's cool how you incorporate family into the whole thing, man. That's awesome. It's not a lot of that going on in this community, man. So that's awesome, man. You definitely got you something different than everybody else. And I think that's cool.
Yeah, it's also happening just kind of like a little reminder for me. That's why I include the family, so I can remind myself, just to be nice and polite with my family. So that's why, continue filming myself. It's a constant reminder. I was like, oh, okay, I edited a video. I was like, ooh, okay, whew. I thought I was gonna go there, but it's been good.
Yeah. So you're doing a whole lot of editing then.
Okay, well, my wife is just saying like, plus kids watch it, and like before, if I didn't have the family involved, I didn't have the family videos, kids didn't want to watch it.
Right.
But now it's like my little guy Isaac. If he hears my intro video, he goes, Toly's. That's it. He running around. He's asking Mama, like, Toly's detailing. If he catches me on YouTube or my wife on YouTube, that's it. He's gonna sit down. He's gonna say, Toly's detailing.
Wow, that's awesome. That's dope, man.
Yeah.
That's
so
great.
It's
Gotta set a good example.
yes, I have to set a good example. Yeah, like my wife said.
Yeah, you're doing that. I mean, you made, even though with all our flaws, man, you are setting a good example because kids, they're smarter than you think. They pay attention, and it sticks with them. And the thing is now like our parents, and I'm pretty sure like my parents and your parents, they raised us to, go to school, be good in school, be a good guy, get a job, get married, your family. But now you're gonna change. You're gonna change the dynamics. Now you're showing your kids that, if you want to get a job, you can. But look, you can run a business. And one of your kids, if not all of them, one of them is going to have their own business because they saw their father do it. They know it can work. And the reason why people are not starting businesses, they want to do it, but the reason why they're not starting business because they don't know anybody who has started a business, was successful. They don't know anybody. Yeah, they may know this guy across the street or down the street that has his own business, but they don't know him. It's different when you have an uncle, a brother, a aunt, a father that has their own business. My dad was a school teacher, or actually a college professor, and all his thing was education, 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 get a job, and that's what he was about. And I got education. If it wasn't for my father, I don't think I'd have went to college. My father went to college. I went to college. So you're setting a good example, man. By and there's no. I mean, it's an unlimited amount of money and success that you can have when you're an entrepreneur. When you have your own business, it's the sky's the limit. Whatever you can think of, and put and try to make it happen. It may happen. It very well may happen if you want it bad enough. But if you're working for somebody, it's only so far you're gonna go. You have your own business, is anything can happen, man. I mean, look at us, man. We're making this a lifestyle. We're making YouTube videos. We're connecting with people on here. I mean, all of this is from you starting a mobile detailing business, which all started from a Nissan Sentra, and now you're talking to somebody from way across the world, way across the nation, in Mississippi, and people from New York that you never knew existed. And it just and it's a lot of things that you don't know that's gonna happen. I mean, sky's the limit, man.
Yep.
All right, man. I gotta go. It was nice talking to you, man. And man, yeah, real quick, man. Let me go through the chat, man, because I hadn't really been paying attention to the chat, man. We got. Before I go, we got Steve Long. What's going on, Steve Long? We got Gene Clark, Patrick Goffney. What's going on, man? Shouts out to everybody, man. We got KG Clipper. What's going on, man? Thanks for stopping by. JS Mobile Car Wash and Detailing. What's going on? Shimmer Rides. What's up, man? Okay. 1804 Media Group. What's going on, man? I had a chance to talk with him today, man, about those shirts. But man, I'm gonna check you guys later, man. Y'all stay up, man. Shouts out to the new wave.
Following example, what they're doing.